Hi there, Virginia.
Hello.
Virginia Kistler and Josh behind the camera, as always. This is your first time showing in a commercial gallery, which I think is very exciting for you and for Sarah Gormley Gallery. But I want to spend our time talking, helping people sort of understand your approach to your art. Well, we'll do three things. Sort of big picture, your vision as an artist, and then we'll talk about the show that's here that opens on Friday. And then we're going to talk about this piece.
Okay.
So just so you know where we're headed, it's a lot of information. I posted recently when I announced your show, or in the email I sent out, that I find it somewhat challenging to describe, which is why I want to spend time hearing it directly from you. So if we could start with kind of what your inspiration is and what your artistic vision is, that would be great.
Okay. Well, so are you reading any of my artist statement or no? You just want me to dive in?
Well, yes,
Okay.
because I didn't so I wrote down from your site that you mine systems in the natural world and contemporary technology to create two-dimensional works and sculptural forms. You're like, yeah, okay, well, I don't really know what that means. So let's break it down in maybe some easier language.
I guess I make work that I'm, about subject matter that I'm interested in. And I guess, the work comes from a personal place, even though, I don't know, you may not think that looking at it, but I grew up in a rural part of Ohio, and now I live in Columbus. So I think a lot about different spaces, the idea of home being outside, and so a lot of my work is about that personal journey. Mm-hmm. But then obviously a lot of my work has kind of an environmental undertone.
Yes.
It's about kind of the shifting landscape that we all are, living in, our rapidly changing world. I'm trying to make work that kind of speaks to this idea without being, I don't know, hitting you over the head with some of these ideas. Mm-hmm.
Well, because, not to interrupt, but they're innately beautiful, period, right? Just to look at them. They are gorgeous forms. But I think it's important for clients and viewers to hear a little bit about where you start from. And so the pieces here, which are installed, which could be installed in a home or an office, are of a scale that permits that. But most of your work to date has been large installations, right? Commission work for institutions.
Yes.
So was this a challenge for you?
Yeah, well, so that's right. So I actually went back to grad school and got my MFA in 2012. And
CCAD.
And since then, I've made, larger pieces of sculpture, some photography. And I always showed, I participated in group shows, and I've had a few solo shows, but they've always been in, like a university setting or a nonprofit gallery. And I always made, large pieces. And so I always kind of shied away from for-profit galleries because I didn't think that...
Well, we're glad you changed your mind a little bit.
I didn't think about making smaller pieces for some reason, I don't know. And then two, a few years ago, I started pursuing public art. Mm-hmm. And I have a background in design, and so my background I thought was a perfect fit for public art. And so I have a few pieces of public art in my portfolio, and I just received a few new commissions that I'm super excited about.
I know we're not supposed to talk about them yet, but we will. Okay. Not now.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about what people can see when they come into SGG. And I'm just going to say the word, and then you tell me more. And the word is mushrooms.
Yes.
So, a little bit weird, but every piece in the show in some way relates to, is inspired by, or ties back to mushrooms. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about that.
So, mushrooms, again, it's an interest of mine. I never intended to include mushrooms in my work. It just came from the fact that I started trying to identify mushrooms that I found like in my neighborhood on hikes. I started making spore prints as a way to identify the mushroom because you can, the color of the spore can help in the identification.
Okay.
So I made some spore prints and I thought, oh wow, these are fantastic.
And so the spore print, tell me if I'm right, it's like you cut off the head and you rest it on a piece of white paper?
Yes.
And then
that's
lift
correct.
it, and then what's left,
Yes.
and you can't see these, but there are 6 of them on the wall over here. That creates that shape and color and image.
Yes.
Okay.
So you all can make spore prints. Typically it's black paper, but
sorry.
And you generally leave it overnight, and you get this beautiful print, and then I photograph that print with a macro lens, and that's how I make the spore prints. So I developed this kind of interest in mushrooms, and then I started kind of branching out from there. And I started with the spore prints as kind of my point of inspiration, and then I used these 2-dimensional forms to start making pieces of sculpture.
And my novice eye sees the patterns, the repetition, the shapes, right? That come from, are those the gills of a mushroom? Is that what it's called? Like with
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So it's fascinating.
Well, good. I'm glad you think so.
All right, so that's the show, which includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces? Yeah, 13 pieces.
I didn't count, yes, okay.
Many are illuminated, they're breathtaking, but this one is like unbelievable. And I learned a new word, so you're gonna tell us about this, and then tell us what kerfing, Kerfing, means.
Yes.
Okay, go.
So this piece was inspired by the underside of a mushroom, the gills, and really this was kind of an experiment.
It paid off.
I have known about kerfing for many years. It's a woodworking technique that's used in the furniture world, in the musical instrument world. It's a way to bend wood, basically. And I saw actually on Instagram where, it was a furniture maker, instead of kerfing wood on one side, so kerfing is putting small cuts to bend wood. So the furniture maker did it on both sides of the wood, and it was kind of this aha moment, like, oh my God, I can make wood completely flexible.
And curve.
Yeah, I can make it bend in multiple directions. And, I already have wood in my show, and I was just dying to try this out and to make something. And so I spent many, many hours behind my bandsaw. So these are all 1/2-inch pieces of oak, or they're 1/2-inch oak dowels. And then all the individual little cuts I did on a bandsaw. So
it's just amazing.
Thank you.
And I do think, well, we're gonna have to include the installation in the pricing, I think, because
Yes.
it took some time to put it up, but it's so beautiful and it's so
Yes.
graceful. I love the fact that it's like wood, but there's something fluid about it based on your expertise as a kerfer. Is that right? Okay. Is it just kerfing? I don't know. I'll look it up.
I'm definitely not an expert
Okay.
at kerfing, but
Well,
I do plan to do it more. So.
All right, well, great. So now we go to the speed round.
Okay.
All right, and you can pass.
Oh, good. Okay.
All right. What is your favorite word?
Oh my God.
Are we gonna pass?
No,
Okay.
ephemeral. I'm
Okay.
accused of, I use it all the time, like as a joke, because it's whatever.
Okay. What is your least favorite word?
Milk, because I hate the sound of it.
What turns you on?
Oh, jeez. Great music.
Yeah. What turns you off?
Oh, jeez. Pass.
Okay.
Lots of things.
What is your favorite curse word?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Oh, I definitely would have majored in a science, plant, animal biology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you still have that
Yeah.
as part of your work.
Maybe I will one day. I don't know.
And if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. You were right.
Oh, I like that. Thank you.